What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to continue our discussion about planning our mechanical system. Alright, so in this video, we are going to place spaces. Okay, so last time, we have learned how to set up our MEP model for placing the spaces. So this time, we are now going to place space in our project. Okay, so as you can see in this exercise, I already placed several spaces here. Okay, so as you can see, there's already the green color there. So that's the color of our space. Okay, so spaces allows you to calculate the volume of the areas in the building. So that's why if you're going to click the space, this is the space by the way, and if you want to see that clearly, what you can do is you can go to the visibility graphic overrides. You can type VV, and then from the model categories, you can move your slider down and then look for spaces, and then you can select the plus icon so you can check here the reference. Okay, so if you check the reference of your spaces and then select OK, you can see clearly the space there, that cross icon. So the reason why I am hiding that, it's just I don't want to see that cross or reference because it doesn't look clean to me. So that's why I just hide it. Okay, so I'll just hide that one. So spaces, hide the reference, and then OK. You can just simply hover your pointer and then you'll be able to select the space. So you can do that. So instead of showing the reference. Okay, so if I click the reference and then I select the properties here, so you will be able to see some of the properties of that particular space. Like for example, so the upper limit of that space is level 2, which is our current level. So we are on level 2 space plan. So from level 2, it will go up until 8 feet. Okay, so that's why if I go to the section here, I double click the head here. So if I'm going to measure level 2, I click this one and then I'll click level 2 until level 2 plenum. So that's 8 feet. So that's why my space is from level 2 up to 8 feet height. Okay, so that's your upper limit. Okay, or the limit offset. So upper limit is level 2. So the limit offset is 8 feet. And then you can also see here some of the properties on electrical lighting, reflectance. You can also see here mechanical airflow. So that's the outdoor airflow of that space. So we haven't placed any air terminal yet. That's why you can see the actual return airflow, supply airflow are 0. So you can, these black or enabled parameters, you can specify your own parameters here, but these grayed out, these are something that we can't control unless we put our mechanical elements into the building. And another good thing about the space is that it will also allows you to see the dimension, like the area of that space, the perimeter of that space, the bounded height, the volume of that space. Okay? Alright, so let us now see how to place the space, which is not very difficult. You can actually automate placing the space. So if you don't want to pick one by one, you can automate it. Okay, so let's do it. So let's say this is our library area. Okay, so that's our library. So we're going to place a space here. So let's go to the analyze and then click the space here. So when you click the space here on our spaces, you can see there's a place spaces automatically. So you can just click this and then it will place the space automatically for the whole building on your current level. Okay, but I don't want to do that. I just do it manually. So make sure tag on placement is enabled so that when we place our space, it will place the name and then the volume. So the space tag that I'm using here is space tag with volume. So that's why it shows the tag name and then the volume in cubic feet. Okay, so that's tag on placement do. So upon placing your space, it will automatically place the tag. So you can toggle that off if you want. Just click that. So it's now turned off. So if I click again, so it's now turned on. Now here on our options bar, you can specify the upper limit. Okay, so the upper limit for my level 2. So what I want is, I change the upper limit. So instead of level 2, I want that to be until level 2 plenum. Okay, level 2 plenum. And for the offset, I don't need to specify the offset. I'll just put here 0. Why? Because I am currently on level 2, and then I already specified here the upper limit until level 2 plenum. Okay, so that's why no need for me to specify the offset. If I want, I can just specify any value here. But I just want my space on my library to be from level 2 until level 2 plenum. Okay, if you are going to select here level 2, then make sure you specify the offset. Okay, like 8 feet. Remember, I'm going to cancel this one. So if I'm going to open this section here, so I already shown you this earlier. So if I measure this from level 2 to the plenum, so that's 8 feet actually. Okay, so that's why you specify the offset if you are going to select level 2. Okay, so let me just go back again to my level 2 space plan, and then let me click the space. Okay, so the upper limit here is, instead of level 2, I'll just use level 2 plenum, and then this one I'll just make it 0. So I don't need to specify. And then there's also the tag here. So I just want my tag to be automatically placed horizontally. I don't want to have a leader line. That's why this is unchecked. And then this will gonna be a new space. Okay, and that's it. So you just need to click. Okay, just place your space, just click, and there you go. So you now have your space, and then just select your modify to terminate the tool. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to rename this. I'm going to click that space, and then I'm gonna call this library. So library, enter. Okay, so that's now my library. And then after that, I'm going to change also the number. So for the number, I'll just make this like 219. Enter. And then I'll just click outside. Okay, so that's it. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to place space on my level 2 plenum. So last video, we have created that level 2 plenum, right? So we're going to place a space on our plenum. So let me go to my project browser, and then let's locate our level 2 plenum. So let's double click that. Okay, so that's our library there. So let me just close the other views that I'm not using. So close inactive views. So because I have 3 inactive views here, right? So I'm going to close that at once. That one. So if you do not have these close inactive views, you can go to the views, view tab, and then there's your close inactive view. Okay, you can right click that, and then you can select add to quick access toolbar, so that it will be placed here on our quick access toolbar. So that's why I have the I have the close inactive view tool here. Anyway, so I am now on my level 2 plenum. So I'm going to place my space here. Okay, so to do that, let me just open first my section here. And then I have level 2 plenum, and then I have my section here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select tile views, or I can type WT to open up the 2 views that I have side by side. Okay, so I have here my plenum, and then I have here my section. So I have my plenum plan, and then I have my section view here. So this is the plenum that I'm talking about. So we are going to place space on my level 2 plenum up to level 3. Okay, So let's do this one. By the way, if you don't have the tile views again on your quick access toolbar, you can always go to the view tab and then you can click their tile views. Or you can right click that and then you can select add to quick access toolbar so that it will be placed here on your quick access toolbar. All right. Now let's go to the analyze, and then you cannot place space on your section view. So that's why you will notice space is disabled. So you need to go to the floor plan. So let me click the level 2 floor plan so that it will be the active view. So now I can select the space. So let's click the space and then tag on placement. All right. So for the upper limit, I'm going to change this to level 3. So from level 2 plenum up to level 3. Okay. So let's go back there. So space, let me just zoom out this one so I can see the area here. Okay, so let's go back to the level 2 plenum plan. So space, upper limit is level 3, offset is 0. Okay, and then after that, as I place my space here, automatically my section will also show the space that I have placed on the floor plan. So let's click. There you go. And then again, just select here, modify. Okay. So now let's rename this one. So I'm going to change this. So I click the space there and then click again. So I will call this plenum. Oop, enter. There you go. So that's now my plenum. And then I also change the number. So I think the number I'll just add 235B as in plenum. Enter. There you go. Okay. Oh no. Since this is library, because this is my library space, right? So my library space number is 219. So I'm just going to make my plenum here 2192. 219, enter. There you go. For consistency. And then I'll just click outside. And another thing that you need to do is go to the properties, and then after that click the plenum, the space, and then move your slider down and then look for energy analysis. So for the energy analysis, we want that to be specified as plenum, not occupiable, because nobody's going to occupy that area. So just make sure plenum is selected. And then as you can see, automatically the condition type changed to unconditioned, and then the space type is plenum. All right, so that's how you do it accurately. And then after that, just select apply. There you go. And then just select here, modify. There you go. Okay. Okay, so for the next part of the exercise is we're going to place a space in our large corridor area, which is this area here. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to split the space using a space separation line. So as you can see here on our Analyze tab, spaces and zones, so there's a space separator. So this is the tool that we are going to use. So this is beneficial to split up a large volumes for equipment selection and sizing. All right. So now I'm on level 2 space plan. So we're going to place our space here. Okay, so let's do this. Let me go to analyze space. Okay, so again, same rules, tag on placement. Okay, so for this one, we are going to select level 3 as our upper limit. So remember, we are on level 2, so we want to place level 3 as our upper limit, and the offset, no need to specify anything, just put 0 there. Okay, and then after that, so I'm just going to place it here. Okay, just click, and then after that, I'll just select here, modify. Okay, so in this exercise, I already created here a space schedule, which is this one here. So there's already a space schedule created for this exercise. So don't worry, we are going to discuss also how to create a schedule. So let me just double click this one. And then there's our space schedule. So as you can see here, so we have the column for the number, which is, this is for the space number, and then space name. And then this column C and column D, these are the room number and room name. Okay, so meaning to say, so these are the rooms that we got from the architectural model. So we need to follow the naming of the architectural room and then number for our space. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to select level 2 space plan, and then after that I'm going to select tile view here, tile views, to show again side by side view. So one good thing about Revit is that if you select your space here on our schedule, it will highlight on your floor plan. So like for example, so we created the default space and 219Q. So let's look for that one. So let's look on the second floor. So there's the 219Q space. So the real name for that on our architectural model is corridor and 216. So we need to change that one, right? So we are going to change the name to corridor, and then I'm going to make the number 216A, because later on we are going to create 216B. All right, so let's change the name. So you can change the name here on our schedule, or you can also do that here on our model on the floor plan. So it's the same, it will reflect the changes. So like if I change this one to corridor, you see as I click that, it highlights here on our floor plan, right? So again, I'm going to click outside to deselect. And then let's say you want to see where is this electrical. So just click that one, and then it will highlight there. Okay, if your model is too big, so you can click one space, and then there's an option here, right? So you can select highlight in model. Okay, right? So it will go on that particular space automatically. All right. So anyway, I'm just going to click outside again to deselect that. All right, so let's change the name here. So let's change here on our schedule. So I'm gonna call that corridor. So that's our corridor. So there's already a corridor here, so I just select corridor. There you go. So it automatically updates. And then for the number, so let's change this to 216A. Enter. There you go. Okay, so the reason why I put A, because I'm going to divide this corridor. Okay, because it's too big. Okay, so this is useful, this is beneficial. It is beneficial to split up a large volumes for equipment selection and sizing. Okay, so let's say I'm going to modify it from this area. So I want to divide that. I want to create a separation to this area here. So how to do that? So let me just close my space schedule, and then let me just zoom in to that corner. So here on the analyze, so let's go to the space separator. Let's click that one. And then after that, using the line tool, so I'm going to click here. Let's click that one, and then let's click here. There you go. And then as you can see, it divides now. So this is now the only area for our 216A. So I'm going to select here modify. Now same procedure. So we are going to select space. Okay, so upper limit is level 3 with the offset of 0. And then we are going to place it here. Let's click. There you go. So that's our 216B. Automatically it changed to 216B. So let's change this one as corridor. Okay, and then enter. There you go. And then let's just click outside. Okay, so basically that's how you place a space in an open area and how you use your space separator. Okay, so for the next exercise about placing our space, we're going to place a space in our chase, which is this area here. Okay, and then we're going to change the upper limit to account the entire volume. Okay, you can always use your own project to do this exercise, or if you'd like to avail the exercise files just to support me in doing videos, you can check the video description. I have included a link there to avail the files. Okay, so anyway, so let's create now our space. So before we create the space here, by the way, we're going to create a section. So let's go to the section from our quick access toolbar. So let's click that one. So I'm going to pick my first point here. Then I'm going to pick my second point here. All right, so I want to flip that section. You can see this icon here, flip section. Click that. And then I just want to adjust my section, something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to select here, modify. So I close this view that I'm not using, so I only have level 2 space plan. So I'm going to double click the head here of my section to open up the section view. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to select level 2 space plan. And then I'm going to select tile views just to see the view side by side. So here's my chase. And then here's my chase area here. So now for this view on my section, I want to show my space. Okay, so let me open the visibility graphic overrides on my section 27. And then look for space category from the model categories. So let's look for space, spaces. So let's check interior and then reference. So let's click that. All right, and then I'll select here. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, I only have there I don't have the space for my chase. So we are going to place the chase here, the space. So let's do that, of course, on a floor plan. So let's go to Analyze, Space, Same, Tag on Placement. Okay, so upper limit. So since we are on level 2 space plan, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this up to level 3. Okay, or maybe until, oh yeah, just level 3. Okay, and then the offset is 0. So let's see what will happen if we only put level 3 with an offset of 0 from level 2 space plan. So let's place it here. There you go. And then I'll select here, modify. So as you can see here on our section, so this is our plenum that we just created. So it's only from 02 floor up to 03 floor. Okay, so let me just change first the name here on my floor plan. So let's change this, change that to chase, enter. Okay, and then after that, for the number, so I'll just call this 22P plenum chase PC, and then enter. And then I'll select here, modify. Now I'm gonna select the chase here, much easier. And then let's go to the properties just to make it plenum. Okay, and then apply. There you go. And then after that, what we want to do is I want to adjust my space, my plenum chase space up to level 4. So maybe I'm going to create more than the space more than above level 4. Okay, so let us modify our space. So let's click the space, and then after that, let's look for the properties. So instead of upper limit 3, let's change that until the roof. Okay, roof level, and then I want that to be all the way up, going like 4 feet up. So from roof level, it will still go up 4 feet more. Okay, so let's do this one, and then I'll just select apply, and there you go. So it's now adjusted. Okay, so basically I'm just showing you here how to modify your space by changing the limit. Okay, the offset and then the upper limit. Right? So now let me open my level 3 project browser, level 3 space plan. Let me just quickly show you one trick wherein if you want to tag all your spaces at once, instead of doing it one by one by going to annotate, you can do it like by category. You can do that, and then after that, you can tag one by one your space. But I don't want to do that, so I just want to select here tag all. So let's click tag all, and then on the tag all not tag window, so let's check our space tags, and then make sure the space tag is loaded in your project, and then it's selected. So you can load as many space tags as you want, and then you can click the drop down arrow here to select it. Okay, so I just want the space tag with volume, and then after that just select OK, and that's it. So you now have all the tags. Of course, for this one it's too crowded, so you can just move maybe this one. I'll click this, and then you can see that icon there, that cross icon, so you can move that somewhere there. So there's a default line there that indicates that that particular space is on that area. So you can do that. Okay. All right. So that's it for our exercises on placing spaces in Revit 2025 for MEP design. So you have created the plenum level and a corresponding floor plan view during our exercises for space, and then after that we use space separation lines to create a newly fully bounded area that was part of a larger area, and then after that we also place spaces for various types of areas. Okay, so that's it for this exercise. So hopefully you learned something from this video on placing our space. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.